What's up, everyone? Austin Smith here again for another news update. As you can see on the screen, I'm joined with our Georgia editor, Brianna, Patton, and our contributing editor here at Hoop Scene, Josh Tech. And when you see these two on the screen with me, we've got either an announcement or a recap video for you. And today's video is the official Hoop Scene Elite Preview recap. We had the Elite Camp this past Sunday, October 17th, and we had a bunch of kids that came through. A lot of good talent across the board. And it was great to see some of the top players in the class of 2024 and 2025 up at Suwannee Sports Academy getting to the action together. So let's start off. I mean, we had a bunch of players. BP, really quickly, just give me your overall synopsis about how the camp went in general.
Yeah, Austin, yesterday was great. I appreciate, everybody that took the time to come out, players, parents, coaches, media. Starters, one that really stood out to me was Caleb Wilson of Holy Innocents. I think he's at about 6'7" now. He'll be a freshman. I had heard about him from I think it was the freshman U camp. I was like, yeah, we got to get him here. And I'm glad we were able to get him. That kid just stands out as soon as he gets on the floor. He's long. He had some perimeter skills. I watched him. He was matched up with Jobe in the first game. He had him out on the perimeter between the legs, little step back three. His motor is just ridiculous. That's one thing about him, especially as a freshman. The second game of the day, he was late. He's a little late too. His team was down, but as soon as he got there, the whole dynamic of the team changed. He's vocal, and if he's on the bench, he's clapping, he's cheering his teammates on. He's just one of those guys. So I'm excited to see where he kind of goes from here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I heard plenty of things regarding Caleb Wilson. Even Josh pulled me over and was like, hey, man, this kid is good. So Caleb Wilson is definitely a kid we can talk about. Josh, anything you want to add about Caleb?
Yeah, I saw him at that freshman U camp. That was the first time I saw him. And I immediately texted BP. I was like, yo, we got to get this kid at our elite camp. I said the other day on Twitter that I think Rakese Passmore is from North Carolina is the best prospect I've seen at any of these camps. And I've been to all of our Hoop Scene camps. But I would say Caleb Wilson's probably right up there, maybe 1A and 1B. Like, I think Caleb Wilson's like a legit long-term prospect. I mean, obviously he's a freshman, so he's still got plenty of seasoning to go, but he's got all the physical tools. He's already got like a developing perimeter game that you can kind of see could turn into an actual weapon. So yeah, I think this guy's the limit for him.
Good deal. Well, let's keep going with maybe a couple other players who really stood out. I guess you can say a top three. We'll go one from you, BP, and then Josh, if you have another, you can give us some feedback as well. Who was another, I guess you could say top three player, BP, that you saw this weekend?
Yeah, I'll go Jakari Harris out of Grayson. He'll be a sophomore. He should have a huge sophomore season for Grayson. He just scores it with such ease, and I love how unselfish he is. He likes to get his guys involved. Don't get me wrong, he can go get a bucket at any time, score it from anywhere. But he has no problem, giving the ball up, which you can see all the time in camps. You know how camp settings can be. But he was, just giving the ball up, getting his teammates involved and, wasn't forcing anything, just getting to his spots, hitting shots. He's also, he's more vocal from when I saw him last year. He's made a progression of that from his freshman and sophomore year. So I'm excited to watch him for Grayson this year. He should have a big role.
Good deal. We'll definitely keep our eyes on Jakari. Josh, talk to us, man. How about you?
Yeah, I want to I'm gonna get another player out there, but I'm gonna touch on more Jakari because I've seen him a ton recently because I've been at all of our Hoop Scene Fall League, and Grayson's been there, and Jakari's played a huge role on that team. And at first he was kind of just like, okay, this guy's a really great scorer. But the other day when I saw them play St. Pius, he was locking people up on defense. So yeah, I think that defense is an area that I think he needs to be talked about more. But another player. What was that? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Another player that I wanted to mention was William Jobe. He just like right off the bat, you see him walk in the gym, you're like, whoa, this guy's got like long-term potential here. And he plays back to the basket. He's really mobile. It looks like he can shoot it a little bit. I didn't see him like light it up or anything, but like when he shoots it, you're like, oh, that's going in. It's like
right. Wow. Well, that's three guys that everybody can keep their eye on. And these three players stood out the entire time. You saw instantly their impact that they had in the games. You saw instantly their long-term potential when they stepped on the floor. And again, when you got high praise from both Brianna, Patton, and Josh Tech here on this show today, that means you were definitely handling your business. Let's keep going a little bit more. Talk about some 2024 players that stood out. We'll go there first. Josh or VP, whichever one of you all want to go first. What are some other 2024 players that came in and got the job done?
You good, Josh?
Okay, yeah, actually, have a couple. A guy that I saw a lot last year with Kell High School, Jaylen Colon, younger brother of Najee Colon. He last year at Kell, he's kind of just a shooter. Like he came in, give you a couple 3-point shots, but now it kind of looks like he's filled out a little bit more. It looks like he's grown a little bit, and now it's kind of like his game is evolving around that shooting now as he grows. Like he kind of taken on that Najee Colon defense that Najee was so known for. I saw Jaylen kind of get down in that same kind of stance with that same kind of intensity. Jaylen was rebounding, he was passing, he was doing everything while still having that great 3-point stroke.
Right. Good deal. Brianna, how about you?
I think we also had Christian Anderson written down. Everybody was excited. Some people, I think this was Josh, your first time seeing him. Really,
yeah.
I was able to see him at Lovett last year, and he's grown some since then. And he committed to Michigan recently, so we're excited to see him, going up against top talent. We like him, his poise, but he's poised as a freshman, so that doesn't really surprise me. His handle's gotten better. He's gotten a little more shifty from what I saw, so that was fun to watch. He made a couple of nice moves to the basket, finishing over bigger defenders. So he was definitely one of our 2024 guys to see.
Can I add another guy real quick?
Go ahead, Josh, real quick. Yeah.
A guy that I loved a lot at our Georgia Cup series, Ernesto Almonte. We wrote about him a lot after pretty much every Georgia Cup. He showed out at the camp. Like he's 6'5" forward. He's got a super high motor. Like he plays more back to the basket than anything, but he's going to give you rebounds, inside scoring, inside defense. I think that this guy kind of used this platform to show like, oh, he's the real deal. Like he's like a legit guy that we should be paying attention to moving forward.
And Austin, one more guy that stood out to me was Jackson Jennings. He's at Greenbrier, and he also plays with Team Dickerson's 15 and under team. Yeah, I was walking around, and I kept hearing people, they were saying his number. Yeah. Do you see him? Do you see him? So I looked, and I watched him the next 2 games. Yeah, he makes all the right plays. Again, another unselfish player, high motor. That kid is everywhere. He definitely want to keep track of that Augusta area to see how he does this season.
Right. And the good thing about the guys in the 2024 is they have an opportunity now. They've got a year of high school ball under their belt. They come here to Elite Preview this past weekend, and now they get that chance to really implement what we saw in the high school season for 2021 and 2022. So to all the 2024 kids that were just mentioned, man, great work. We look forward to following you all during your sophomore campaigns and see you go the rest of the way. Let's get down to the new kids on the block. I guess you can say that. The 2025s, all the freshmen. Which 2025 players really were like, okay, hey, this kid can go. Hey, we got to make sure we keep this name down to keep a look on him as he continues to progress through his career?
Yeah, I liked the Kylin Hill out of Laney High School. He plays with Team Power. He's long. I think he's about 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". He's another high motor kid. He runs the floor well. He threw down when I was sitting with Coach LeBerry watching me, threw down a crazy dunk in transition. His length, he's active on defense, he's active on the boards. He can definitely impact the game on both ends. He's definitely one that I saw. Also, Caleb Evans, he was named as a top performer at our South Carolina camp. So he earned his invite here, and glad he was able to make it back. He was playing on a pretty guard-heavy loaded team, and he held his own. He was consistent. He was productive. He took care of the ball. He was getting to the free throw line. He's definitely one of those guard prospects that has high major potential.
Nice. Josh, who stood out to you, my man?
Yeah, I had to go with Caleb Evans again. Other than Caleb Wilson, Caleb Evans is a guy that I loved in South Carolina. I think everybody that was with Hoop Scene that was there heard me talk about Caleb Evans in South Carolina like about 1 billion times. And he kind of showed everybody else why at the Elite Preview. He's about 6'2", 6'3", really solid lead guard. He can kind of attack off the dribble. He can shoot a little bit, does a little bit of everything with rebounding, defense, passing, just kind of a really good long-term prospect. And whenever I talk to him, I leave being impressed by him as a person too. I'm like, man, this kid's got a really good head on his shoulders. So I think that's going to be something that helps him moving forward too.
Nice. Yeah.
Real quick, Austin, there were a few 2025 players that got a lot of love from the coaches as far as the eval sheets and what they thought of them just from talking to them. Mm-hmm. And that was Ethan Carter and Daniel, excuse my pronunciation here, but Daniel Ogunimi. Okay. Those two 2025 guys got a lot of praise and love from the coaches throughout the day as well.
And you know what's so great about this camp, and I'll say this because you two are phenomenal at what you do. Like, we're able to really help these kids start their stories. You know, a lot of players who come into the Hoop Scene Elite Previewers, Hoop Scene Preview camps, they start their stories. This is their very first time being evaluated and being able to, you know, get their career started in terms of being noticed. And I love that. And you get kids, like you just said, Brianna, who typically come out of nowhere, and boom, now this kid is on the map now. And I love that, man. I really do. That's pretty awesome. We're almost finished here. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, and thanks for being a part of this show today. Let's talk about some superlatives. Josh, I know you may have had a couple of guys who shot lights out by chance. Who are some of the better shooters you shot, Josh?
Oh man, I wrote down this list last night, and I kept wanting to add to it. I kept being like, all right, this guy was a really great shooter, but I kept it to 4.
Okay.
So first of all, Yuta Yamamoto from I think Chattahoochee High School. This kid lights it up. I mean, he sets nets on fire. He's a really, really good shooter, but he's also just like a really good pure point guard. I recommend everybody go get eyes on Yuta Yamamoto if you haven't. Max Skidmore, we've seen him a lot on our Hoop Scene platform. This guy's unreal. Like, as soon as I was talking to Cortland Christian, I was like, yo, you got to watch this kid. He can really light it up. As soon as I said that, Max started getting hot from 3-point, and Cortland was like, yeah, I can already see it. Another guy I touched on earlier in our top 2024, Jaylen Colon. I mean, he's one of the best shooters in the state in that class, I think. And he showed that. I mean, and then a guy that I hadn't seen before. I'd seen the previous 3, but Boston Kirsch. He was one of those guys where I was like, okay, he knocked down a shot. And then again, he did it again. And then he just kept doing it. I was like, okay, this guy's lighting it up. Like, this guy's a really good shooter.
Wow. Yeah. Shooting is at a premium, man. Shout out to those guys who put that time in to be able to make shots. That's a great skill set to have. Would there be any other like new kids on the block you all got in mind? Like maybe one player or two? Go ahead, BP.
Absolutely. I was really impressed with Isaiah Evans out of North Carolina. And he had a really good showing. I believe he was on team 2. And I think they went undefeated through the day. Okay. He's long, he's athletic, he can super versatile, he can guard most positions, he can score inside out. I was really, really impressed with him. And also Tay Jeffries out of Newton. You know, that we all hear about that 2023 group from Newton, which is outstanding, probably the best core in the state. But they have a couple of 2024 guys. Both Tay and Jabez Jenkins were at the Elite Preview, and they both had pretty good showings. Tay, especially, I got to see him a couple of times. Yeah. Just another super athletic kid. Was on that team 2 as well. As you can see, it was stacked. But he's definitely one I want to see how he does with Newton this year, getting coached up by Coach Gibbons. Cornelius Brown from the Walker School, also playing with Game Elite. He's a super shifty guard, crafty around the rim. He's creative under the basket. I watched him make about 3 or 4 acrobatic finishes. I went on his Twitter afterwards. I saw he had an offer from Mercer. So he'll definitely be, I'm definitely intrigued to continue watching him. And then a couple of 2025 kids, Jayden Haynes and then Jaden Priester. And also David Clark from Game Elite as well. Yep. That was my first time being able to see him, and definitely was impressed with what I saw from him.
Yeah, David Clark had a really good day, like a really good day in general, man. And got an interview with him, and we're looking forward to seeing his progress through the way.
We'll drop that.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin Mitchell too. Sorry, can't forget that.
Who's that, BP?
Justin Mitchell.
Justin Mitchell.
Out of St. Francis. He's at St. Francis now. He like I said, he's probably about maybe 6'2", 6'3", but he plays like he's 6'7". He's another athletic, high motor guy.
Good deal. I love it. Well, thanks y'all for hopping on this quick call with me today to recap the 2021 Elite Preview. A bunch of great talent this past week and this past Sunday, October 17th, up at Suwannee Sports Academy. To everyone out there, thank you all, parents, players, for attending the camp. And on behalf of our entire staff, man, we were able to make it a pretty cool experience for you all. Big piece of advice to all the players out there: just keep working, keep putting your time into your craft, and you never know. You might be on BP or Josh Tech's article headline very soon. You never know. Thanks, guys, for your time. For everyone, I'm Austin Smith. Thanks for tuning in to the 2021 Hoop Scene Elite Preview Recap Show.